Alright, thank you very much for clicking on the video. This is Gulpane, just back with a quick review of this PSP game, this PSP RPG that I got a while ago. And this one is developed by Sting Entertainment and published by 505 Games for the old PSP. Now this one was, apparently this was a WonderSwan Color game originally, and then they re-released it, well Atlus did, in North America, and 505 Games in EU territory. And yeah, it was re-released in 2004 and then for the PSP in 2006. So this is originally a game from 2002. So I actually wanted to buy this for a while. I was going to get it on Game Boy Advance because I quite like collecting the Game Boy Advance games. But then I saw it on for PSP for like, I think it was like £17 or something like that. Kind of about half of the price it normally goes for. I think this is like roughly like a £30 game probably. I don't know, I'm 100% sure on the prices, but they fluctuate very often. But yeah, so I got it for a little bit cheaper, so I said I'd pick it up and I gave it a try, and not really impressed, to be honest. It reminds me very much of this isn't the kind of RPG that I like. It reminds me of like Unlimited Saga. It's more like a board game RPG. That's the way I can describe it. It's not really a board game, obviously, but you don't really like move around that much. You kind of move to different kind of squares and you take on enemies, and then when you're in towns and stuff, or when you're in like when you're in like different areas, you don't really like move around. You just sort of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like a board game where you just kind of go from square to square. And the combat system is okay. It's very, very simple compared to like, it doesn't seem to have the depth of other games in a similar genre. And again, I don't know what genre this is actually. It's not the type of RPG that I really like. This type of RPG, it's very difficult to explain. Is it like a board game RPG? I can't think of the exact genre it's in. The RPGs I generally go for are like the sort of the traditional Japanese turn-based RPGs where you can like move around a map, and if you go into a town, you can actually go into the town and go into the shops, as opposed to just like having menus and like more of like a text-based one. So these ones here, I know it's a WonderSwan game, and WonderSwan, you know, WonderSwan Color isn't that advanced, like, so I can't be expecting much for this, but still, I think, you know, if they could do it on the Super Nintendo or do it on the Master System, I think they could, you know, do a fairly good RPG on the WonderSwan. But again, maybe it's just the style that they're going for. It's kind of, maybe that style of game just isn't popular here. That it's like very, very, very menu based, and the story is bizarre in this as well. It's I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I've played it for a few hours and I don't know what's going on. I didn't really want to keep playing it because I just found it a bit boring. Again, it's not that the game is bad. It's just this isn't the type of game that I like. The next game on my list for PSP to play is Breath of Fire 3. So I've already played that on PS1 and I know the type of RPG that is, and that's the type of RPG that I like. So it's very difficult for me to get into this one. Again, very similar to sort of Unlimited Saga. Oh, there's another one on the PSP as well, which is kind of like a board game. The name escapes me now. I'll write it underneath when I start editing this video. But yeah, these sort of games, they just, I don't know, they just don't interest me at all. If they just, I know the graphics are quite nice on this. They're sort of like, they look like they're hand drawn, so they don't look, you know, polygony, or they don't look sort of like 3D effect. They're more sort of like hand drawn with like the and it's not pre-rendered background, it's like a hand-drawn background, but that sort of style is nice, but I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me at all, this game. And I was looking forward to playing it as well, because any PSP RPG is always a treat, because there is quite a lot on there, and there's a lot of PSP RPGs are like the sort of, I don't want to say generic, because they all have a different sort of kind of a gimmick to them, but a lot of the PSP RPGs are like the third person 3D RPG that I've played, well, that I've played anyway. There's obviously there's more than that, but they're sort of the same. They're very, very similar, shall we say. So this one is not similar at all to those ones. This was very different, but I think this is just too different for me anyway, for the fan of these sort of games that I am. This is just too different. So that's Riviera, the Promised Land for PSP. I might, well, I suppose it's going to be the same game on Game Boy Advance, so I was actually going to get it on Game Boy Advance as well, but I don't think I'll bother now. I think I'll just leave it. I think I'll try and get the elusive Breath of Fire 2 on Game Boy Advance that I've been looking for a while, but can't seem to find it. So I will leave it there, and if you've played Riviera or Riviera, the Promised Land on PSP, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios, thanks for watching.